All right, Brock Purdy, not the prettiest game in the world against the Kansas City Chiefs in that loss. Let's not waste any time, man. Let's get right into it. So, this here first interception for Brock Purdy. Look, it's a concept they run all the time, right? We're gonna have the clear out. We're gonna look for the tight end coming across the field, right? And this is just a poor decision from Brock Purdy. The Chiefs, they're gonna be in man coverage, right? They're gonna be one high defense, okay, man to man coverage, cover one, and it's just a poor decision, right? So at this point, if you're Brock Purdy, right, he's checking. You can see his eyes are on that back safety. This safety is already has his hips looking this way. He's ready to come downhill and make a play on the ball, right? Tight end is coming. Brock Purdy again. He's staring this down, right? This safety is already breaking on the ball before Brock Purdy even decides to throw it. And then he just throws it, and the safety comes downhill and makes a play on the football. So, really uncharacteristic throw and decision here from Brock Purdy because and nowhere in this play is this open against this defense, especially with the safety and the position that he is in the entire time, keying this thing all the way through. So just a really poor decision there on the interception from Brock Purdy on this play. All right, next one here. Again, just not a great decision here from Brock Purdy. Okay. Play action. Again, really same type of concept from the first play. We're going to get the tight end kind of coming around, clear, fullback, flat, right? And the check down is the throw that needs to be made here, right? And again, the Chiefs super tight man-to-man coverage. Really, nobody is open here. So again, play action. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're gonna hitch, and he decides to throw this thing at the tight end, who again, it's not a great throw, but again, this just isn't open, right? And you maybe could have called a flag here at this point on Justin Reed, number 20, but it's just not open. And instead of taking these two hitches in the pocket, right? So there's our drop. Hitch, it's not open. Hitch, it's not open. Let's get down here to the check down. The check down is open. Let's get to the check down, throw the ball there, get some yards, and keep it moving. But again, like just so far, two just really uncharacteristically bad decisions from Brock Purdy in this football game. Next one here, and I know a lot of people may see this and not think it's much, but it's just again, I keep using the word uncharacteristic because it is. Right, Brock Purdy has thrown this thing with anticipation multiple times, right? So we're just looking here for juice on the short route, right? It's a one-step drop, boom, ball needs to be out, right? And I get it. Like you're waiting to make sure 54 can't jump this thing and the ball gets intercepted. But you just have to trust the offense, trust the rhythm, trust the timing that you become accustomed to. Let that thing go right now. Okay, but instead we take that extra couple seconds, right? Until Chris Jones is able to be in position to bat this thing down. So we take the snap. Chris Jones is rushing the passer, rushing the passer, rushing the passer. Ball needs to be out now. Ball needs to be out now. Now, maybe now. But no. We wait a tick too long, right? And by this time, Chris Jones has accepted right here that he is not going to win this rep pass rush wise. So he can just sit back, wait for Purdy to throw the ball, get his paw up, and deflect this thing. And we'll be able to see it better from this angle here, what I mean. Okay, so we take the snap. Again, we're waiting. We just got to get rid of that thing, man. Got to get rid of that thing. And you can see, again, Chris Jones. Big 95 right here. He just sits back and waits, right? At this point, he's like, look, I'm not winning this rep. Let me just wait. Okay. And that's exactly what he does. So, Purdy, from this view, it maybe looks like he was second guessing himself, maybe not going over here, maybe looking over the middle to Brandon Ayuk. Like right there, he's kind of like, should I throw that? And again, that hesitation is just, it's throwing the offense off. Like we know this offense is built off of timing and rhythm. And he just wasn't on his game for this matchup against the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, for what it's worth, excuse me, this is a beautiful throw from Brock Purdy on the very next play here. I mean, just an absolute dot to Ayuk. Now it's dropped, right? It's dropped. And what did Giselle say? Tom Brady's ex-wife. You can't throw it and catch it for him. So again, on a day where we're not looking our best, we got to make this catch for our quarterback. Pocket's a little muddied up. lay that thing over the top of the defender, who again has really good coverage. Got to come down with those for sure. Again, next one here, we're going to go to Ayuk, who is once again just absolutely plastered in coverage. Okay. And again, I don't love the decision, right? Like, we're throwing to our guy who is not even remotely open. Okay. I mean, and this again, this drew a flag, right? So you move on, and pretend it doesn't happen. But again, like the decision to throw here, that's just not open at all. Take the shot over the middle with your tight end on a linebacker who has his back turned. I mean, you have a better chance of it working out than throwing it over here to the left to a guy who is not even doesn't even have an ounce of separation, right? Even Juice underneath has more separation here. And again, the time in the pocket is there. The pocket is plentiful, right? I mean, that's a gorgeous pocket. Well, I just don't understand why we're throwing it here. Maybe he threw it to intentionally draw the flag. I mean, that's the only thing I can really think of. But again, just not good decision making from Brock Purdy. All right, this one here, Brock Purdy has got to know he has got to throw hot here. Okay, we got to throw fast to the running back or the receiver at the bottom of the screen. We have got to throw hot against this blitz here. Okay. So what happens, right? Chiefs, they rush 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? We have 5 into block, but they manipulate the protection. So what happens? Niners are going to be sliding left, right? So essentially it's going to be him for him, Trent for 54. Over here you have man on man, right? But what ends up happening is we have a guy drop out on this side. So on this side you end up with one guy not blocking anybody, right? And then the linebacker is going to come scot-free to the quarterback. So let's press play here. So boom, at the snap, 56 drops out. That leaves 2 guys blocking 1, 64 again on the nose here. 65 on his guy, Trent on his guy. Bolton comes through free to the quarterback, and Brock Purdy just isn't aware of what's going on, right? And again, he has to know what the protection rules are here. So we're sliding left, yes. But when the nose crosses our center's face, he has to follow him. Okay, he has to follow him. So it essentially ends up being we're sliding to the left pre-snap, but post-snap the Chiefs dictate that we're sliding to the right, and we're going to have 2 versus 3 on the left side instead of 3 versus 3 on the left side pre-snap. And Purdy has to see that at the snap and know he has to throw this thing hot to one of his receivers, right? Who, whether it's over the middle, to his back, who is fast out of the backfield, he has to know he has to get rid of this thing. He has to understand the protection rules better than this. And he does, right? This is, again, uncharacteristic from Brock Purdy on this day against the Kansas City Chiefs. All right, next one here. I'm not sure why Brock Purdy isn't ripping this corner for a potential touchdown. Okay. Up here to the top to number 10. That's a touchdown. If not a tackle on the goal line. I don't know why Purdy is dropping his eyes here in a clean pocket. I mean, we're rushing 4. The pocket, again, is gorgeous. Right? Like, I'm not sure what we're looking at here, man. Like, he's looking that way initially. Like, why isn't he ripping it? We have the leverage on the safety. 27 is in no man's land. And the Chiefs, like, pre-snap, they line up to this thing kind of funky, right? You can see they're having a banjo call. You can see right here this DB is doing a little banjo, right? And that's just a bunch check, right? Or really you can it's a check for any alignment, but in this case it's a bunch check, right? So we're going to have 22 taking the first in. This guy's going to take the first out, and then 27 will be left with the next guy, right? Number 10 in this case. And so, pre-snap, he's nowhere near where he needs to be. And you have got to hit this thing for a touchdown, man, playing the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't know what he's thinking here, why his eyes moved off of it. and why he's like kind of just panic scrambling in the pocket, man. You can sit in there and take your time. The pocket does not get any better than this. But again, he just drops his eyes, gets a nice scramble here, but you could have had a touchdown. Next one here again, picked off. We're going to try to get the out here. And it's just a horrid throw. I mean, it is just a god awful throw. So we got 1, 2, 3 step drop. We're looking. Ball needs to be out now with some anticipation to your receiver, right? And he is like he's releasing it on time. Like the ball, he's throwing it now. Receiver's not out of his break, so you think, okay, we're throwing it with some anticipation, right? We're gonna hit this thing right on the break against tight coverage. No, I mean this thing is not even close to where the receiver is or where the receiver is coming out of his break. And you could say, well, the receiver broke this thing a little too far down, right? Okay, that's fair. Right, but again, like when we're throwing the ball, where's the receiver? The receiver is right here. He's not out here where the ball is getting thrown. The ball is intercepted at the 20. That's just a horrific throw. I mean, there's really not much else to say other than this is just a god awful throw from Brock Purdy. And the pocket navigation was nice, right? He feels the pressure from the right side, maneuvers over. But again, it's just a bad throw. Bad throw. Next one here. No idea why we aren't ripping this thing over the middle here or to the left. I get it. We're trying to sneak juice out on the wheel. But again, we have got to rip this thing. Look at this. I mean, boom. That is wide open. Let that thing go right now. You're staring at him. Let it go. It is wide freaking open, man. Again, look at this. Beautiful protection. I mean, gorgeous protection. Wasted. Wasted because we don't throw it. We're getting greedy now. This is covered nicely this time. Incomplete, right? Take what is there. Boom, we're at the top of our drop. Throw the freaking ball to the wide open receiver, Purdy. Don't get greedy on the wheel. It's not open. Just bad decision making all around from Brock Purdy. Again, like from this view, you can tell, like, in play action, boom. I mean, look at that, man. Wide open, and he just opts for the cover throw instead. Next one here, the next interception, 3rd and 5. You're already down 2 scores in the fourth quarter, and this is just brutal. Like you just cannot let this happen. And I know he gets hit, right? He gets hit there, and the ball's picked off. But it looks like he was throwing to 18 anyway. Looks like he was going to throw to 18 anyway, and that would have been picked off either way by the same guy. Again, just a brutal play by Brock Purdy. Take the freaking sack and kick the field goal and bring your team within a score, right? I mean, you can see his eyes all the way. He is definitely throwing that ball right there at 18. And it's picked off. And again, like, you just cannot do this, man. You have to just take that sack, kick the field goal, and get your team within 1 score of the back-to-back defending Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs. It's just unacceptable.